I look very pale. I mean, I also have been sick.
Your settings on this ring light I got you. Hit the little tan ones.
I did. This is the tannest part.
Yeah. Let me put more blush on. Let's go. Mama's dwindling out.
You have the mic over our cat's ashes? Are you kidding?
That's what it's sitting on. When we start, since it's called Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom, you should start by saying, hold on, I'm calling my mom. And then I should come in.
She's already creative directing this. You all are joining us on the first episode of Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast that we decided today's our big launch day. So we're excited that you guys are all tuning in and listening to us.
And you'll understand why it's called Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom.
Period. I'm Paul, and this is my legend of a mother, star of a mother, Barbara. But we really wanted this first episode, to be the blueprint and the foundation of getting to know us and why we are wanting to do this and why this is so important. And, we've been thinking about this for a really long time and, just wanted to be able to lend our voices and use this platform for, even if you would call what we have a platform, but making it into something, having a mom and son duo do this, and just really having these important conversations that not everybody does or finds traditional in their household. Obviously, knowing us and continuing to listen to us, you will know that we are very untraditional in this household.
Like this is normal convo for us. You'll see. It's just very natural. Yeah.
So by doing this, we hope we can inspire somebody else to maybe be this open with their parent, but in a healthy way always.
Or just to laugh and come along for the ride.
I feel like really came together in such a perfect way. And I was thinking, I was watching Making a Murderer when I came up with the idea of having a podcast with you.
What? Oh.
Remember I told you that? And I was listening to Brendan Dassey's mom, Barb, and them talk through jail. I was like, wow, they have all this documented to record their phone calls while her son is in jail and they're going through this. And for me, I was just I had been feeling the urge to want to use my voice and, do something that could help people in some way. Or I was thinking it could even be cathartic for us to do this and talk about things. And then I was on the phone with you and I was like, that's it. We are doing it. This is real life. This is literally what we do every day. I'm we're saving it for a designated weekly day.
And I think we're funny.
Yeah, well, I hope everybody else that's listening thinks that too. We talk on the phone multiple times a day. It could be an hour combo, or it could just literally be are you alive? Are you good? How are you feeling today? Did you shit your pants because you have a stomach bug? What's going on? Are you feeling good? Have you eaten? And
no holds barred.
No holds barred. And I feel this just makes sense to us, to do this. And I really feel
this is normal conversation.
100%. I call you every day about something. So I'm every week, this podcast is to be some issue that I've called you that it just has completely rattled me. And, what better way to do this than to be able to talk to you about it with whoever wants to listen along the journey. And
if I wouldn't hear from you in the morning, at least to say good morning, or not to hear from you for multiple days, 911 would be called. I'd be flying out there. Jordy would have me all, it would not. Yeah. People who say, oh, I haven't talked to my kid in a couple days. I would be what are you talking about? That's not even part of our vocabulary.
No. Well, I said that also could teeter codependency and maybe some boundaries that
right. We're not saying this is healthy. We're saying this is us.
I want it to be how we love Mel Robbins. Brett thinks we're in a cult because we love Mel Robbins. I don't care.
Yes. I'll send him things and he'll be I got your cult.
I don't care. I'm proud to say that I love Mel Robbins' podcast.
Me too.
And I feel every time you listen to her, you feel it's a friend that you're on this journey with. And she's not an expert at it, but she's learning with us as we're listening.
I
So
agree.
like our goal with this is like each and every week is to have some type of like conversation, whether it's setting boundaries with your parents, is it, learning parentification, which is something, we've talked about, where it's like the child parents the parent, setting boundaries.
Which is a big thing nowadays for children your age to parent their parents.
100%.
Because it's a very different world from how we grew up to how you now, even Brett's age to your age is a very big difference. I actually teach people now who I'm with who, need to learn things. I am the teacher of that.
Oh, Barb's enlightening people now. Okay. We love that for you. That's great. Welcome. It's a cathartic journey. I said like to go through this, and we're so open and transparent with one another. I said like literally my therapist has said that he's never met
Again, we don't know if it's normal, but it's us.
I don't know if it's good or bad, which my hope is that he said he would come on for one of the episodes, so we'll be able to get him to chime in and see what he has to say. But, the fact that he said out of all the patients he's seen, he's never had a mother-son duo be as close as us, again, for the good or the bad. But, I said, we just really we've always been like this. We, growing up, even to this day, I always call you. I vent. I run things by you. I just ask your opinions. I said like you're my unofficial therapist in many ways. And my friends, like for people listening, my friends laugh because it's like, we'll randomly be out at like High Tops in West Hollywood and I'm dancing with my friends and they're like, they look over and they see like me on FaceTime. They're like, who's Paul talking to? And it's like, oh, Barb. Yeah. Okay. It's like, and it's like, I'm at
all times.
Well,
too.
yeah. I'm like, I could be at the Beyonce concert and, it's just like, Barb, wish you were here. It's like, oh yeah, they don't even think twice about it. Or it's like, when I've had a few margaritas in and I lose track of the 3-hour time difference and, it's 12 a.m. here and it's 3 a.m. your time. And, you pick up and the hair's in the face and, you're putting on the glasses and it's just pitch black in there. But I said, you're a real one and you always pick up no matter what.
Absolutely.
And I said, someone who doesn't know us literally would be like, oh my God, he's calling his mom. It's so late. And,
Jordy
and people now who know us, they're like, oh no, she's fine. Barb loves to be a part of it. She loves being involved.
Now and then, now I think they probably are like, call Barb.
Yeah. And they end up hopping on the FaceTime and they start having a conversation with you and it turns into a whole ordeal. Okay. So as I'm saying this out loud, it sounds very codependent. But like I said, we're a work in progress. And I said, this is what the whole Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast is about. Learning, growing, becoming more enlightened. And it just really is my everyday. It's hold on, I'm calling my mom. Like, hold on, I got to call my mom. Like the title in itself is so fitting for this. It's very on brand. We really are continuing to make this podcast into like a weekly podcast, which I really love. And I think it's special that we're able to like document these conversations for forever. Me being a gay child and you being a parent to a gay child. And like, that really stuck with me, meant a lot because, it puts into perspective to think that, if we share our stories and we open up and someone stumbles across this, maybe this could open up conversations between families and children and parents. And
also, it's 3,000 miles away. So some people, their lives get intertwined and they can't, they don't have the time to call or, sidetracked or, oh, I haven't talked to my mom or, parents in a couple of days because it is a 3-hour difference. It is such a different life and stuff, So the fact that we I don't know about you, but me, I'm like, oh, by 3:00, if I don't hear from you because it's 12:00 your time, I'm like, good morning. Do you know what I mean? By 6:00, I know.
Girl, I'm like, oh, the texts are coming in. I'm like waking up, trying to get here we go. Good morning. I'm like, it's afternoon now, but hi, how are you?
Yes.
We talked 12 hours ago. Hi.
Yes. So it's like, to me, I'm like, But I always like to have you wake up knowing I'm thinking of you.
I know.
Hence why I'll send you my little quotes and stuff when I know, like, if you need a little pick me up or something or going through it. I have my little quotes that I'll send
Well,
just to start your day.
That's every day. So, but I was like, wow, like this could be really special for somebody to like pick this up, take this knowledge that we are talking about, and I don't know, and just like have an idea and say, I want to go to my mom, or I want to go to my dad, or I want to go to someone in my family, just ask them these questions. And I said, you know me, I love a good old icebreaker and a conversation and really get the wheels turning for people, get the conversations going. So I'm like, this just felt totally like what we should be doing, you know, in like many ways too. I feel like we really grew up together in a way when I thought about it, because I was like, sure, you're my mom, but like, you know, you met.
I mean, in now standards, I was a young mom. I mean, I was 24 when I had you. I was 28 when I had Brett. I was married at 21.
Well, I said you met our dad at 15.
Yeah.
You know, you come from, to say as kindly as possible, a very chaotic family. And and I said, you know,
as well as he did. So I think the bond there was.
Girl, don't knock the fucking microphone over.
I think the bond.
That's the jersey coming out where the hands start flying already.
I think the bond there was, you know, already meant, you know what I mean, was already that connection at both of us at 15. So, yeah, from day one, that was that. Yeah.
But I said, like, you know, you guys started building a family together, and that's like what you traditionally are supposed to do. And like, you didn't have support from your family. He didn't. And then it was like, you know, you got married to somebody that you thought was going to be like forever, because that's what you do. I would say more back in the day, no shade to the age, but, you know, and I think that, you know, things didn't go as planned, but like, what would life be if it did? And, you know, I said, we have gone through like really challenging times together, the two of us, with my dad. And, you know, I said, Brett overcoming cancer. We have overcome things together that is truly like
just family in general.
Yeah, but it's truly pivotal to our relationship, like why it's so strong. And I feel like we've always been close, but obviously those hurdles have made it stronger. And, you know, I said, I mean, I do think it would be great out of this podcast to work on setting stronger boundaries. Absolutely. But
our boundaries are fine.
Yeah. Comes from the woman who texts me, knows the time that she texts me every day on the dot to say, hey, if I don't hear from you. Yeah. But I said, we really don't know any boundaries. I said, I don't know.
Wait, let's go back to that. From the person who texts me when I have to be in work at 6:00. So it's 3 a.m. your time, as texting me, okay, I just woke up and had to check your location to make sure you're at work.
Because I'm like, I have trauma.
Yeah,
I'm like, I get triggered.
There you go.
And I'm like, I like to know, God forbid, like my family's 3,000 miles away from me. I want to know if they're alive and breathing and are okay and are where they're supposed to be.
Purdy could have left for work and not realized something was wrong with you.
See, that's the expert that we need on, like, as episodes to come, to be like, we need to fix this, because that is not normal. That is not normal. Like, we think so drastically. That is like,
we do. We're extremists.
We're very much extremists. But I said, I mean, granted, the things that we have overcome, I mean, make sense of why we are like that. I don't think we're the expert poster people to be like, we're the best mom and son duo. I think we're amazing. I love us together, but obviously we can always work on something to make it stronger. And to
no one has the perfect, you know, family dynamics, family relationships, anything. I remember always telling you, when you were even younger, you would come home and be like, oh, their family's so perfect. And you know, they're this and they're that. And I would always say, Paul, you never know what happens behind closed doors.
And let me tell you about that family that I know that you're referring to. She's on her husband. Some crazy shit was happening in that house.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So I can always go back to, just, you never know.
let's be honest. I said our family is fucking nuts. I mean, we grew up, we had family members who wore white we got to throw up a picture of this for the people that are watching visibly.
I don't know if we're jumping right into things. I'm going to scare people away. Maybe they should get to know us first.
This is just to get a taste of what we have been going through and the type of things that we walk in on. We have family members who wore the packaged white Hanes, like you buy the t-shirt and the underwear together. We're showing up at like an Easter brunch. I'm like, what? These are the people.
This?
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, I know who you're talking. Okay.
Not normal, but moments like that are the reasons why I feel so like I need to speak out on things like that, because I'm like, why are we walking around here with something like that? Like, it's like, hi, here's your tea, crimpets, and some balls on a platter for morning break. Like, I'm like, why is it? This is not normal. Like, why is this a part? Like, why? So now I think it's my mission for moments like that to be like, what the fuck is happening? And why are we not holding people accountable and talking about this? We had our grandparents sleeping with each other on different sides of the family. Like, do we really, like, come on.
Yeah, that was for a moment.
We had a Thanksgiving event at our home, and it was very small. And it was you, Brett, our father, myself. And at this time, for whatever reason, I feel like every year there would always be like some family member that was like on the outs and they're on their own. And we're like, just going to bring them in and say, hey,
family members, friends. Yeah, that was kind of our home for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Come get a plate and just
we always
come on over. We had my mom's mom and we had my dad's dad, and we brought them over. They came over for a Thanksgiving meal and they left getting a dessert with one another. We'll say at that. I don't know how the hell this happened. This is cross-pollinating in a family. Let's be clear. This is they're technically related by marriage. They're damn near like brother and sister. I feel like, come on, that's really crazy. Like, I know we're from the sticks, but like unacceptable. I remember, they packed up the leftover plates. They were ready to go. And
which is definitely a thing in the family that people take leftover plates.
They love platters, that's for sure.
They love to go platters.
They'll leave a goddamn funeral taking platters. That's how crazy it is. And
we're not talking like,
No, we're talking like stacks. We go outside because we noticed there was just something in the driveway. They weren't quite exiting in a timely manner. And word on the street is that there was some kissing that someone caught happening up against a car, which I'm like, I'm still in disbelief over that. And then I guess they got startled. And when the person went back out to go check, the cars were gone, but all the plates and leftovers and Tupperware were left on top of a car. So they were like getting down. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, because no one leaves. Like we said, no one leaves without their leftovers. So that's like that's a big thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, that set the tone. I mean, the fact that you had a stalker from our grandfather.
That I did.
That Jordy wants to write a scripted horror movie over.
He does.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's your father's father.
So he comes over for some type of thing. He brings this.
I think it was like Brett's birthday, or it was something for Brett.
But there was family members there, and he brings this woman, and she just seemed like a regular, like older woman.
Yeah, so it was the party. She was there, minimal interaction, and then within like 24 or 48 hours, I started to get these phone calls, and they would hang up. Phone calls would hang up. Then as soon as I would come back in the house, the phone would ring. So the person knew that I was home, and they just started to become more bizarre kind of conversations. Then she started calling your dad at work saying I was having an affair with his dad. Yeah. And then it just became, and then she started riding by. She was throwing things at the house. You were
I was
in
horrified.
kindergarten. I think
I was
you were
horrified.
first grade kindergarten.
This bitch
Because
looked nuts. She looked like Cruella DeVille. She was horrifying.
yeah, then started like walking by the house with that damn beagle.
And no, the kicker is to this for the people that are listening. She lived up the street from our house.
So oh yeah.
She got arrested and got put in a mental institution.
Yes, I'll remember her in the back seat of the car, like, I'm gonna get you, banging on the window.
Yeah,
so
I
that
think
was
I
that.
blocked that image out, but I remember the whole ordeal. And
Yeah, you were afraid to get the bus out front at us.
Oh yeah, I was. But absolutely, I was scared. I'm like, she's gonna run up and she's smashing bottles and God knows what else she's gonna do. But the kicker of it all was that years later, when I guess your Catholic guilt kicked in, and you decided for us to go to a church.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't even know what it's called now.
No, what is it? No, like when you go, like a service, like you go to a service.
Mass.
There we go.
Seriously?
I forgot.
Church?
Yeah, but mass. We sat in the same pew as this woman, and she didn't recognize us, didn't even say anything. And I remember how chilling that was, because that was like how
blank stare.
This is for people to paint a picture of like what the type of stories that we have to come for the season arc that we have going on. We really can't make this shit up.
We really can't.
I thought, since this was the first episode, we're going to celebrate, make it like a fun episode. Obviously, there's going to be like, things that are a little bit more heavy as we go through it, of the type of guests we bring on and experts, but like, it's fun. And I want to laugh while we do this. I reached out to some close friends who who have known us for years, people who we really consider family. So one of the questions that I started off. Oh
Lord, this is all new. I don't know any of this. Just
I know. I wanted to keep it a surprise for you.
Oh my Lord.
What is the most outrageous, ridiculous story that lives in your head rent-free that summarizes my mom and I's relationship?
That's a loaded question.
So one of the ones that initially stood out for me was this one. You sending your mom pictures of your friend's hole asking for medical advice. And I was like, wait. I need to lay context down for this, okay? I need to lay context down for this. It was one time. We're not going to name.
Yes. You act like it's going to be multiple times. It's that's going to make it better. One time.
And it was for medical purposes.
Absolutely.
And, my mom is a nurse. We have to throw that out there. So we were like, hey, if this person possibly has a hemorrhoid, Barb's going to be the one to say, yikes, that's not looking too high. You might want to simmer down and go buy some witch hazel at the closest Whole Foods and take care of it, So
and how do you know about witch hazel? Because Barb said to go get witch hazel.
She might have had to use it a couple of times in her life as well. This was one that I loved. This question was, what part of our relationship do you think someone who didn't know us would say, this is unusual or untraditional, LOL?
All of the above.
And the ones that I got were the daily phone calls, but even when the phone calls aren't productive, I feel like y'all would just sit in silence together.
We just did that the other night, I felt like.
This is how you know that we're on the phone so many times together, because I didn't answer one time when she called me. So she called Jordan, and I picked up his phone, or I think I was like, I'll call you back on mine. And I was in such like a rut of just like getting out of the shower, getting myself situated, that I propped the phone up. I had no idea I was butt ass naked, and we were on FaceTime because nobody was saying shit. And I hear you go, Paul, and I'm like, oh my, and I literally, I was like very much like that. And I'm like, there's no reason for us to be on the phone anymore. We're done. Like, I didn't even know that we were on the phone because you were just sitting there along with getting ready with me. It was like silence. I'm like, I'm out.
It wasn't, no, it's like such a natural conversation because Jordy was in it, you were in it. Like Jordy's walking around the house with the phone, then you got the phone. It's like,
yeah, it goes to one person to
yeah,
another, and it's like passed around.
which we'll bring Jordy into it later, but I just think it's funny now to him. It's normal. I
Yeah.
think in the beginning he was like,
Someone for that question put another person. You literally said there were slapping balls and dicks hanging out at a party you went to. You know which one. I would tell literally everyone but my mom about that, laughing my ass off. And I know what they're talking about, and you know which one they're talking about. And I said, because this story was so out of body experience that I felt like I could have not told you about it because I was in like another dimension. It was like a meta world that I went to this party being so like naive, thinking that I'm like, oh, it's nice, friendly party. I know the person, I'm gonna go, and I had my friend with me, and you know the party's like going on, and I noticed a shift in the party, and I decide that I want to leave, you know, because I just felt like, yeah, my time's tapped up. I'm gonna leave, and Jordan was with me at the time. It was when we first started seeing each other. We both were in an agreement. We're like, yeah, we're going to leave. And as I go to leave and I go out to the pool to go to say bye, I see balls and dicks bopping up in the water. But the bigger picture of this was that this started off as like a family barbecue. And I don't know what family members are getting down like that, but it was like, and it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. We have some effed up stories, but that's not one.
No, that was not it. On to a later note. Somebody said that they would like to hear more stories about how, you know, like my coming out story, about like what advice or something that they would give to, you know, a parent who maybe is like struggling or dealing with for the first time, like their child coming out, and like, you know, is there anything, you know, steps that they could take or tools or something that can help them navigate that. And when they said that, it made me think that, you know, I said another, you know, story that paints a picture is that, you know, we're sitting in my West Hollywood apartment, and, you know, it was me and Brett and you, and we're sitting around, and me and Brett are picking like the best drag race performances on YouTube. And I go and I turn to you and I go, and you are just sitting there. Like, I mean, you really didn't have a choice. You're open to always learning and being and understanding. And, you know, even if it's like something that I push you to do that I know is going to be better for you, sometimes you're a little
in
like,
Paul's world, it's going to be better for me.
Well, no, long term.
That's an episode.
Yeah, that definitely is an episode. But most times after, you'll be like, thank you, I'm glad that I did that. But I said, I always appreciate, as my mom, you know, you like wanting to understand, wanting to learn, being in like gay culture, and like going to the gay bar with my friends when you come out to LA and doing stuff like that. And I just remember I looked over as we're watching, you know, like one of like season 13, episode 2, like best lip sync of all time.
All right. What did I say? I know you're getting to that. I probably said something.
No, you said something really made. No, I said, Mom, would you have ever thought in your lifetime that you'd be sitting in West Hollywood with your 2 gay sons watching RuPaul Drag Race clips on YouTube? And you said, you know what? I didn't, but I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a testament of what kind of mom you are and what kind of person you are. And that's something that obviously I love most and admire about you.
We'll definitely have an episode about the whole coming out and how it is for a parent and stuff. Yes. Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I think the best thing about this is just having my mom, you at like a certain age, me at a certain age as your son, to come together, really get the conversation going, bring on people who are these experts who can teach us things, talk to us, keep these conversations going, and really just learn from it. And I want to, have every episode where we walk away, a little bit stronger, and it helps us, as close as we are, even have a closer relationship. And I'm really happy that we did this. And I'm so excited to go on this journey with you. I wouldn't want anybody else to be my
Agree.
podcast sidekick co-host.
I agree. I love that co-host.
You're my co-host. I know it's your big moment.
I know.
We made an Instagram account. We made a TikTok account. We started an email. If you have any questions, please email us at holdonimcallingmymom podcast@gmail.com, because you guys who are listening are helping us get these conversations going. Follow us on Instagram at holdonimcallingmymom. Get those followers up, baby, because we need, get those followers up, because we need to get that moving. Support, promote, leave a review, get the word out there, share this on your social media accounts, and just help us, keep on going, because a little bit goes a long way.
Please support.
Keep the streams up, y'all.
Love y'all.
I love you, Mom, and I love everybody for listening. And we got episode 2 that we dropped 2 back to back. So when you're listening to this, you'll shimmy on over to episode 2 to keep on listening to Hold On, I'm Calling My Mom podcast. Barbara, I'll
Talk
call
to
you
later.
I'll call you later.
All right. Love you. All right. Bye, bitch.